Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. And oh boy, are we going to make education your business today, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait to tell you what we got going on. In front of me right now on the screen is a gentleman that very few people in higher ed need no introduction. This man needs no introduction. He is well known in the higher circles, the nooks and crannies of higher education. I think he might be the only person in higher ed who is literally 1 degree away from everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, the man, Dr. Michael Baston, president of Cuyahoga Community College Tri-C. Dr. B, welcome to the mic. How are you?
I am so happy to be with you today, as always. My brother from another mother is here, and I'm excited to get a chance to spend a little time with you today.
Well, we got big news, my friend. We, and I mean we have big news. As you know, Dr. Baston, HigherEd PodCon was a conference that we put on. It was in Chicago. The first year ever in Chicago. It had huge success. And, coming out of that conference, everybody said, well, we got to do another one of these. And so we searched, and really there was only one choice. And that was to bring HigherEd PodCon to Tri-C in 2026 and to Cleveland, to the city of Cleveland. So when you first heard that HigherEd PodCon was coming to Tri-C, what was your initial reaction?
I was extraordinarily excited because I want to have all these powerful leaders, these thought leaders, these provocateurs of opportunity, hope, and promise to come to my city where dreams, everything is happening here. This is a city full of hopes and dreams, and to bring these wonderful voices and these wonderful higher ed leaders, man, I'm just so excited and proud.
Well, when you say wonderful, I'm sure you're talking about me and not co-founder of the EdUp Experience, Elvin Freitas. He's amazing, but not wonderful. I'll reserve that one. I got to tell you, one of the things that came out of HigherEd PodCon the first time, and why we're so excited to come to a community college campus and to your campus, we just need to tell powerful stories about why education is so valuable. And higher ed podcasters are a mouthpiece, are a way to tell these powerful stories. And we've talked to you several times on this podcast, on the EdUp Experience, how important it is to tell the right story. We're doing really hard work and important work to serve students, and this isn't light work. It's deep, heavy work. Why is it important to tell the right story for the future of higher ed to restore that public trust?
Unchallenged narratives shackle hopes and dreams. And so the ability to use this platform to set the record straight, to literally give a real indication of what the power of possible looks like is what you do every day. Every time you shine a light on a story of higher ed and what it's doing for people and how it's changing people's lives, you are challenging some of those narratives that give people the impression that this is a waste of time, energy, and effort. The smarter we are, the stronger we are, the more knowledgeable we are, the better we are as a country and the better we are as a world. So I always salute EdUp and others that are really speaking truth to power, that are challenging, often unchallenged narratives, and that will ultimately give us what we need to make better decisions, to lift up our community, and to actually fuel opportunity.
We cannot wait to be on your campus July 16th and 17th of 2026. Literally, we can't wait. And I got to tell you, when we were talking about how do we think about where to hold this conference? Obviously on a college campuses, it makes sense for everybody, right? One of the most impactful and important things that came out of HigherEd PodCon and why we're so excited about doing this in Cleveland is because we didn't know who higher ed podcasters were. I mean, we think we knew we're higher ed podcasters. We work in higher ed, and it exploded. All of a sudden, you had production people from colleges and universities. There were community colleges and private colleges and public colleges represented. And then all of a sudden, there's this group of faculty that were there at PodCon 1 who teach podcasting for colleges and universities. Right. And our mind was blown because there isn't one type of person that podcasts. What do you see the benefit of this type of conference, bringing together all these types of leaders to try see benefiting your students, your faculty, and staff? Why do you think this is going to be good for Cleveland and good for Tri-C?
Well, we're sitting in my podcast studio right now that we built from the ground up because we wanted small businesses to be able to amplify their voice and to compete with big business. So we actually built our own podcast studio, and now we teach podcasting here and all of those things. But it was originally founded so that we could give the small business, the entrepreneur, the same kind of power that big folks with lots of money can spend, and to equalize that by giving them platforms and voices. And that's how it began. And so more than 18 months ago, we're sitting in that vision right now. And we're creating for so many the new ways to communicate, to build their business, to build their brand, to tell their story. And in the higher ed context, because so many of our students, they want new ways to communicate, making sure that they have access to faces and spaces and platforms is what's going to actually help build our country.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the first time we met, you were such a shy podcasting president. Oh, wait, I must have the wrong person. Never mind. I never met a microphone that I didn't like, and neither did Dr. Michael Baston. If we can get on a mic and talk, we're going to do it all day long. And that's the beauty of this event and why we're so excited to be in Cleveland. You know, Cleveland rocks. I think people don't know Cleveland as well. That's why we're so excited to be able to say to the higher ed podcast community, but we're going to have a good time in Cleveland. Can you give us just a quick overview of what the city has to offer and why Cleveland rocks so much?
This is such a vibrant city, and this is a multi-sports city. So you can see the Guardians, you can see the Cavaliers, you can see the Browns. You can go to our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can actually go to our Playhouse Square, which is the second largest theater district other than Broadway. So in this city, this is a city where dreams have been born, raised, and continue to flourish. We have lakefront and riverfront. So the great food. I mean, this is a very big foodie town. So when you get here, you're going to have so much fun. There's so many things to do. You're going to be engrossed in the culture, and we can't wait to bring you to Cleveland.
If you could give a message to the podcast community in higher ed listening right now, which, you know, our audience is pretty sizable. Yes. In fact, we've just passed 500,000 plays of our podcast. It was kind of a big milestone for us. 500,000 seems like a pretty decent number.
More than decent.
Yeah, it's good. We're pretty happy with it. I mean, it's less than 1 million, but we're going to work on that. What would you say to those listening right now? What invitation would you extend to them for 2026?
The power of our future is in megaphones like this. Continue to hit the airwaves. Continue to open up ideas and really create the conversations that matter. Higher ed, we are the place where we're actually bringing people to a different level of conversation. So I can't wait to see all the podcasters that are out here exchanging ideas, building, just doing great things. And I can't wait to you to get out here to Cleveland.
Well, there you have it, everybody. By the way, I have to say, anytime I can get Dr. Michael Baston on the microphone and I have limited time with him, it's just not going to work for me. We could do this literally all day. I just want to say to you, Dr. Baston, and to the staff and faculty at Tri-C, to give you a huge thank you in advance. It means so much to us to have our colleagues in higher education welcome a podcasting community of colleagues, right? These are all people that work in higher education, but having it really have extra meaning to be on the campus of a community college right now just means so much to us, and we want to say thank you in advance and a shout out to all of the community colleges out there. Yes, all colleges and universities, but the community colleges right now are playing such an important mission in the U.S. and just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Joe, and I want you to know, all of you that are listening to this broadcast right now, the EdUp experience is the way to go. We'll continue to get you to that million listeners, and I know it's going to happen before you know it.
We'll get you that $10. Thanks for that endorsement, Dr. Baston. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another amazing episode of the EdUp Experience podcast with the one and only Dr. Michael Baston, president of Tri-C. Look for lots of messaging and marketing to come out about HigherEd PodCon II on the campus of Tri-C in Cleveland, Ohio on July 16th and 17th. And with that, you've just EdUp'd.